Welcome to IAS Academy. Prior to the 2022 preliminary exam, we will cover 15 previous year MCQs daily in a video. That is a total of 2500 plus MCQs before the exam. So, let's start the session. Our first question is, between which of the following was the ancient town of Takshashila located? Options are Indus and Jalam, Jalam and Chanam, Chanam and Ravi and Bias. The answer to this question is option A, Indus and Jalam. Taxila was an important city of ancient India, situated at the pivotal junction of Indian subcontinent and Central Asia on the eastern shore of Indus River. Taxila is a significant archaeological site in modern city of same name, Punjab, Pakistan. Takshashila was the ancient name of Taxila. So here answer to this question is option A, Indus and Jalam. Question number 2. Battle of Dharmat was fought between option A, Muhammad Ghori and Jaichand. Option B, Babur and Afghans. Option C, Aurangzeb and Darashikov. Option D, Ahmad Shah Durrani and the Marathas. Here answer to this question is option C, Aurangzeb and Darashikov. After Shah Jahan became ill, power struggle for the throne commenced between his sons. The Battle of Dharmat was fought during the Mughal War of Succession by Aurangzeb against Darashikov's forces and Rajput noble Jaswant Singh Rathore on the open plain of Dharmat. Aurangzeb defeated Darashikov's forces during the Battle of Dharmat. After the Battle of Dharmat, at the Battle of Samuga, Darashikov was defeated by his brothers Aurangzeb and Murad. Aurangzeb then deposed his father and assumed the power. So her answer to this question is option C. Question number 3. Abhinav Bharat, a secret society of revolutionaries, was organized by options are Khudram Bose, V.D. Savarkar, Prabhula Chaki and Bhagat Singh. Here answer to this question is option B, V.D. Savarkar. Abhinav Bharat Society, that is Young India Society, was a secret society founded by Vinayak Damodar Savarkar and his brother Ganesh Damodar Savarkar in 1904. Initially founded at Nasik as Mitra Mela, the society was associated with several revolutionaries and political activists with branches in various parts of India and London. V.D. Savarkar was an Indian independence activist, politician, lawyer and writer. He went to UK and was involved with organizations such as India House and Free India Society. Savarkar wrote a book titled The History of War of Indian Independence, in which he wrote about guerrilla warfare tricks used in 1857 Sepoy Mutiny. Savarkar was convicted and sentenced to 50 years imprisonment, also known as Kalapani, and transported in 1911 to the cellular jail in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So her answer to this question is option B, V.D. Savarkar. Question number 4. Which Indian nationalist leader looked upon a war between Germany and Britain as a godsend opportunity which would enable Indians to exploit the situation to their advantage? Options are C. Rajagopalachari, M.A. Jinnah, Subhash Chandra Bose and Jawaharlal Nehru. The answer to this question is option C, Subhash Chandra Bose. Subhash Chandra Bose and the socialists argued that the war was an imperialistic one since both sides were fighting for gaining or defending colonial territories. Therefore, the question of supporting either of the two sides did not arise. Instead, advantage should be taken of the situation to wrest freedom by immediately starting a civil disobedience movement. Subhash Chandra Bose was one of the most eminent freedom fighters of India. In 1990, he had cleared the Indian Civil Service examination. Bose, however, resigned later. He worked as the editor for Das newspaper Forward and later started his own newspaper, Swaraj. Bose authored the book, The Indian Struggle, which covers the Indian independence movement from 1920 to 1942. The book was banned by the British government. He coined the term Jai Hind. His charisma and powerful personality inspired many people into freedom struggle and continues to inspire Indians. So her answer to this question is option C, Subhash Chandra Bose. Question number 5. The song Amar Sona Bangla, written during the Swadeshi movement of India, inspired liberation struggle of Bangladesh and was adopted as the national anthem of Bangladesh. Who wrote this song? Options are Rajnikant Singh, Dwijendra Lal Roy, Mukunda Das and Rabindranath Tagore. The answer to this question is option D, Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore was a Bengali poet, novelist and painter who was highly influential in introducing Indian culture to the West. He not only gave the national anthem for two countries, India and Bangladesh, but also inspired a Ceylonese student of his to pen and compose the national anthem of Sri Lanka. Rabindranath Tagore wrote the famed Amar Sona Bangla, which helped ignite a feeling of nationalism amongst people. He also wrote the song Banglar Mati, Banglar Jol, to unite the Bengali population after Bengal partition in 1904. He was also referred to as Gurudev, Kabir Guru and Vishwakavi. In 1930, Rabindranath Tagore was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature for his work on Gitanjali. He was the first non-European to receive the Nobel Prize. So your answer to this question is option D, Rabindranath Tagore. Question number 6. Which one of the following countries does not border Caspian Sea? Options are Armenia, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan. Here answer to this question is option A, Armenia. Armenia is a landlocked country. The countries bordering the Caspian Sea are Kazakhstan, Russia, Azerbaijan, Iran and Turkmenistan. Or else, remember the acronym TARIC. Caspian Sea is the world's largest inland body of water, variously classed as the world's largest lake or a full-fledged sea. As an endorheic basin, it lies between Europe and Asia. Caspian Sea is now experiencing a devastating decline in its water level. Caspian surface is already dropping by 7 cm every year, a trend likely to increase. Question number 7. What is the correct sequence of rivers Godavari, Mahanadi, Narmada and Tapti in the descending order of their lengths? Here answer to this question is option B, Godavari, Narmada, Mahanadi and Tapti. The correct sequence of the river in descending order of their lengths are Godavari 1465 km, Narmada 1312 km, Mahanadi 900 km and Tapti 724 km. So the answer to this question is option B. Question number 8. Nanda Devi Peak forms a part of. Options are Assam Himalayas, Kumaon Himalayas, Nepal Himalayas and Punjab Himalayas. Here answer to this question is Kumaon Himalayas. The Kumaon Himalayas division, that is Uttarakhand Himalayas, lies between the Satluj and Kali river. The highest peak in this division is Nanda Devi. Pindari, Gangotri and Nilam are important glaciers in this division. The major hill stations are Mussoorie, Nainital and Ranikhet. Nanda Devi Peak ranks the 23rd highest peak across the world. The Nanda Devi National Park, located in the vicinity to the peak, consists of best high altitude flora and fauna. This is the highest peak located entirely within India. It's a part of Himalayan mountain ranges. So your answer to this question is option B. Question number 9. Consider the following statements. Statement number 1. Climate and Clean Air Coalition, that is CAC, to reduce short-lived climate pollutants is a unique initiative of G20 group of countries. That is incorrect. Statement number 2. The CAC focus on methane, black carbon and hydrofluorocarbons. That is correct. Which of these statements given above is or are correct? The answer to this question is option B. Statement 2 all is correct. The Climate and Clean Air Coalition, that is CAC, committed to protecting the climate and improving air quality through actions to reduce short-lived climate pollutants, was launched by United Nations Environment Programme and 6 countries in February 2012. It's a voluntary partnership between intergovernmental organizations, governments, scientific institutions and civil society organizations. India is a member of CAC. So your answer to this question is option B. Question number 10. Consider the following statement. Article 301 pertains to the right to property. That is incorrect. Right to property is a legal right but not a fundamental right. That is correct. Article 300A was inserted by Constitutional Amendment. That is also correct. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? Here answer to this question is option B. Statement 2 and 3 are correct. Article 301 provides that freedom of trade, commerce and intercourse in the country should be free throughout the country. So statement 1 is incorrect. In the original constitution, right to property was a fundamental right under Article 31. But 44th Amendment Act 1978 repealed Article 31, Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause F and inserted Article 300A to make right to property a legal right. So your answer to this question is option B. Statement 2 and 3 are correct. Question number 11. Consider the following statements. Statement number 1. Article 371A to 371I were inserted in the Constitution of India to meet regional demands of Nagaland, Assam, Manipur, Andhra Pradesh, Sikkim, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh and Goa. That is correct. Statement number 2. Constitution of India and USA envisage a dual policy but a single citizenship. That is incorrect. Statement number 3. A naturalized citizen of India can never be deprived of his citizenship. That is also incorrect. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? The answer to this question is option A. Statement 1 is correct. Article 371A to I deals with special provisions to Nagaland, Assam, Manipur, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, Sikkim, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, and Goa. All these provisions take into account the special circumstance of individual states and lay down a wide range of specific safeguards that are deemed important for these states. So statement 1 is correct. The Constitution of India envisages a single policy for both union and states. But USA on the other hand, each person is not only a citizen of USA but also a citizen of particular state to which he belongs. So statement 2 is incorrect. A person can acquire citizenship by naturalization if he or she is ordinarily resident of India for 12 years and fulfills all qualifications in the third schedule of the Citizenship Act. They can be deprived of citizenship if they acquired citizenship by using fraudulent means. So statement 3 is also incorrect. So here answer to this question is option A. Statement 1 is correct. Question number 12. Consider the following statements. The Constitution of India has 40 parts. That is incorrect. There are 390 articles in the Constitution of India and now. That is incorrect. 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th schedules were added to the Constitution of India by Constitutional Amendment Acts. That is correct. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? Here answer to this question is option C. Statement 3 only is correct. The Constitution of India at present, that is as of 2022 January, has 25 parts, 12 schedules and around 450 articles. In the original Constitution, there were 22 parts, 8 schedules and 395 articles. So, statement 1 and 2 are incorrect. 9th schedule was added by First Constitutional Amendment Act 1951, providing for acts and regulations of the state legislators dealing with land reforms and abolition of Zamindari system. 10th schedule was added by 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1985, providing for anti-defection laws. 11th schedule was added by 73rd Constitutional Amendment 1992 to specify the powers, authority and responsibilities of Panchayat. 12th schedule was added by 74th Constitutional Amendment Act 1992 to specify the powers, authority and responsibilities of municipalities. So, here answer to this question is option C. Statement 3 only is correct. Question number 13. With reference to India, consider the following. Nationalization of banks, formation of regional rural banks, adoption of villages by bank branches. Which of the above can be considered as steps taken to achieve financial inclusion in India? Here answer to this question is option D. 1, 2 and 3 are correct. That is, all the above statements can be considered as steps taken for financial inclusion in India. Financial inclusion may be defined as process of ensuring access to financial services and timely and adequate credit needed by vulnerable groups such as weaker sections and low-income groups at an affordable cost. According to the World Bank, financial inclusion means that individuals and business have access to affordable financial products and services that meet their needs. Accessibility, affordability and availability of financial services are three pillars of financial inclusion. It's a method of offering banking and financial solutions and services to every individual in the society without any form of discrimination. Since independence, combined efforts of successive governments, regulatory institutions and civil society have helped in increasing financial inclusion in India. Question number 14. Consider the following statements. The functions of commercial banks in India include statement number 1. Purchase and sale of shares and securities. That is correct. Statement number 2. Acting as executives and trustees of wills. That is also correct. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? The answer to this question is option C. Both 1 and 2 are correct. The functions of commercial banks are classified into primary functions and secondary functions. Primary functions include accept deposits, provide loan and advances, credit cash. Secondary functions include discounting bills of exchange, overdraft facility, purchasing and selling of securities, locker facilities, paying and gathering the credit. So, statement 1 and 2 are correct. Commercial banks perform various other functions. For example, they keep valuables in safe custody, that is, lockers, shares, debentures, GP notes, etc. They also act as executors and trustees of wills and exchange currencies of different countries for one another. So, here answer to this question is option C, both 1 and 2. Question number 15. The International Development Association, that is IDA, a lending agency, is administered by options are International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, International Fund for Agricultural Development, United Nations Development Program, United Nations Industrial Development Organization. The answer to this question is option A, IBRD. IDA is part of the World Bank Group that helps the world's poorest countries. Main objective of the IDA is to provide grants and concessional loans to world's poorest countries. Collectively, IBRD and IDA are known as the World Bank. IBRD earns income every year from the return on its equity and from the small margin it makes on lending. This pays for World Bank operating expenses, goes into reserves to strengthen the balance sheet, and provides an annual transfers to funds to IDA, the fund for the poorest countries. So, the answer to this question is option A, IBRD. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching. We will continue with the next set tomorrow.